All right, everybody. Good afternoon or good evening, or I mean, if you're watching the next day, I guess good morning, or whenever you're watching it, good whatever. Anywho, welcome back to another episode prediction video for The Walking Dead. Previously, I did a prediction series for Fear the Walking Dead, a show that is a spin-off or companion to The Walking Dead, in a way that I did this prediction series. It seemed to have really positive feedback, and I'd just like to thank you guys for it. It really means a lot that you supported that series as much as you support this series. Okay, so moving on, guys. This is The Walking Dead episode predictions for Season 6, Episode 2, entitled JSS. Okay, so JSS. It's obviously some sort of an acronym, right? That has to be it. We don't exactly know what it stands for, but just to let you guys know, spoilers if you guys have not seen up to Season 6, Episode 1, entitled First Time Again. If you guys have not seen up till then, do not watch this, guys. I will have to spoil some things in order to predict what will happen on the next episode. Obviously, the next episode airing this Sunday on AMC, October 18th. For those of you, I think in the UK, I believe it's October 19th, and then, I don't know, somewhere around the world, I heard that you guys get it on Friday, so that would be like the 23rd. I don't really know. But hopefully you guys will enjoy tomorrow's episode for those of you that have it on Friday. Anyway, moving on. JSS, we don't really know what it stands for, but as follows, guys, I will read the synopsis. This goes as follows on AMC.com, so definitely check that out if you guys want to. The synopsis for this episode is just when it looks like things can return to normal, or as normal as things can be in the apocalypse, a new problem arises for the Alexandrians. Okay, so, a new problem. We can clearly assume that the problem that this synopsis is talking about is the wolves. Or at least whatever was happening at the end of last episode. My predictions are the wolves. It's not too hard to predict that. You know what I mean. At the end of season 5, we seen a sign entitled "Wolves Not Far." That was a sign, or blood that was painted on a car. Not really painted, but you know what I mean. Words were written. Wolves not far. That obviously can't be good. Okay. At the end of season 6, episode 1. Entitled First Time Again. As you guys may or may not have seen my review video for that episode, definitely go check it out. Link will be in the description below. I aired it back on Monday. As you guys know, prediction videos go up on Thursdays, and reviews go up on the Mondays after the episode airs. But anywho, at the end of that episode, guys, we seen the herd of walkers that Rick and his group were leading, out of the quarry and all the way to just, 20 miles down the road just to get them away from Alexandria. And, so they wouldn't be a danger if the quarry ever broke and the herd just escaped. They wouldn't be a danger to Alexandria because a herd of that size would just take down Alexandria's walls. You know what I mean? At the end of the episode, we heard a horn blowing from Alexandria's direction. And the horde basically has now turned course off the road into the woods, and their new course is set for Alexandria. It can't be good. You know what I mean? And call me crazy, but I don't think anybody at Alexandria who actually lives there would be blowing a horn. I don't really think they want to die. So it has to be something to do with the wolves or somebody bad, at least. But my predictions are the wolves, because it really wouldn't make sense to introduce a new villain when they haven't even dealt with the wolves yet. We all know that the wolves are a threat as of right now. Obviously, not a lot of our survivors know about them. Morgan does. He knows a bit about them with the W on the forehead. To let Rick know about it and stuff like that. But, yeah, other than that, we don't really know too much about the wolves. We know that they're a group that likes to quote, end quote. I'm not sure if it was the exact quote, but it was something like this. It was, the ways of old, in a way. You know what I mean? They like hunting for their food, stuff like that. They're just really creepy. You know what I mean? And nothing can come good of it, is what I'm trying to basically say. So anyway, yeah, the synopsis, it says a new problem arises for the Alexandrians, which I'm guessing is probably a horde coming to Alexandria's gates, and they're going to have to defend it. They're going to have to defend their gates from the walkers, and I can assume that the walkers aren't going to be their only issue. You know what I'm saying? I think the wolves, maybe they're pulling a Daniel Salazar, for those of you that watched Fear the Walking Dead. He used that giant horde of walkers that he got out of the arena to basically, attack the military outpost. You know what I mean? He went with the walkers went in first, and then his group attacked. You know what I mean? He used the walkers basically as a distraction. So maybe that's what the wolves are doing as well. Maybe they got that brilliant idea from Daniel Salazar. Maybe Daniel Salazar's in the wolves. I don't know. I highly doubt it. That'd be pretty damn weird. No, but obviously that won't happen. So yeah. The Horde, I believe the wolves are going to be coming at the same time. We do have a sneak peek and a promo to go over. We're going to briefly go over the promo. For those of you guys want to watch the promo, I will link it down in the description below. Definitely go check that out and then come back to this video if you guys want to, or just listen to my review of it first and then, I don't know, do whatever. So this promo has a lot of things in it. First off, a lot of things are going awry. A lot of things. Shit's going down is what essentially is happening right now. In this promo, we get to see a little more Carl than we did last episode. Last episode, he was in it very, very briefly for like literally a moment, just with Enid, sitting and just, I don't know, sort of chilling, I guess, with her. I don't really know if they're a thing yet. Maybe that's going to be a thing. We don't really know. Like I said, there wasn't too much Carl last episode, but it does look like we're going to get some more Carl this episode, which I'm kind of happy about. That's pretty cool. I do enjoy Carl as a character, especially seeing him in the comic books first, and then, thinking about what he's actually going to become in the TV show. It kind of excites me in a way. So yeah, I'm excited to see Carl. It looks like he's in the house with Carol. Shit's going down outside. Carol takes a gun, goes out, basically tells Carl, you have to stay here, you have to protect Judith, and obviously Carl, he has like an AR-15 in his hand, so he's definitely down for protecting his little sister. It's definitely going to happen. So, yeah, we don't really know what's going on outside. You know what I mean? Did the walkers get through the gate? Is it the wolves that are through the gate and they're still fighting off the walkers like at the same time? Like, what's really going on there? A next scene in the promo, well, I'm not going to break down every single scene there is, but one of the key scenes is actually Jessie and her kid hiding in a closet, and they're basically like, they're not going to get in this house, don't worry. But who is they? You know what I mean? Is that the wolves attacking? Are they inside attacking everybody? Or is it the horde of walkers coming through the gates and, they're not going to get inside? We'll be fine, we'll be safe, stuff like that. We don't really know, and I'm excited to know very, very soon. That is why I cannot wait for this week's upcoming episode of The Walking Dead. Very, very pumped for it. Hopefully you guys are too. I'm definitely going to be tuning in and then doing my review on it on Monday. All right, anyway, on to the sneak peek. There was a bunch more scenes in the promo. I'm not going to go over everything. It's just way too much content, basically, to go over. But I guess I could go over a few more things. For one, Carol, like I said, she looks to be going outside, maybe dealing with some things. She looks to be running through some sort of a field area. I'm not really sure if it was a field, but it looks maybe her backyard. There's a guy at the starting of the promo. It looks like he's on guard duty now. Maybe he's one of the Alexandrias finally learning how to use a gun. Maggie and Deanna are outside. Deanna sort of looks devastated or just distraught in a way. There's more Aaron in this episode as well, which I, again, am very, very excited to see. Someone clearly got injured, and then they kind of maybe took them to the nurse or the hospital. Not really the hospital, but you know what I mean. We're supposed to see a little bit more of the doctor in this episode, which obviously is the doctor for Alexandria is Dr. What's her name? I'm trying to think of her name. She's in the comic book. Dr. Cloyd? I think, yeah, it's Cloyd. Dr. Denise Cloyd. In episode 2. We're probably supposed to see a little bit more of her, which I'm kind of, again, excited to see a little more of her because she was quite a big part in the comic books. I believe we actually got her from Woodbury in the comic books, I believe, and they kind of joined forces in a way. Or maybe that was... No, that was another doctor. Sorry, I'm getting mixed up. I'm getting the storylines mixed up. I apologize. I won't compare anymore. But anyway, we're supposed to see a little more of her in the episode, which, again, will probably occur when whoever that is gets injured. I think it's just a random Alexandrian. I don't think we have to worry about any main cast members, maybe dying. They might get injured, of course, but I don't really see any of them dying at this point in the series. I could be totally wrong, and, somebody could totally bite the dust this episode, And, I mean, I guess that would shock us all. You know, not waiting for like a mid-season finale or something like that. But anywho, shit looks to be going down. Someone got attacked. Not really sure if it was like a gunshot wound. Maybe it was a knife wound. Maybe it was a walker bite. If it's a walker bite, you might want to get rid of her fast. Or do something if she got bit somewhere. But there looked to be a lot of blood on her torso. So I'm not really sure. They won't be able to cut that off if she actually got bit on her torso area or something like that. But again, we don't really know. We haven't seen really anything up until this point. But anyway, we have a sneak peek now. Guys, we have a sneak peek of Gabriel, actually, looking to turn around and sort of redeem himself in a way. We see Gabriel and Carl. Carl is walking his sister in the stroller. We can assume this sneak peek takes place before the horde or whatever it is actually gets to the gates of Alexandria, because this kind of looks peaceful. They're outside. Carl's walking his sister. And it doesn't really look too havoc-y or anything like that, because, you know, judging by the promo, Carl was inside protecting his sister with Carol. So we can assume to see a little bit of Carl before the Walker herd or the wolves or whoever it is that's coming basically attacks and gets to the gate. So anyway, Gabriel kind of stops Carl and, you know, basically asks, you know, you tried to show me back at the church. Obviously, that'd be occurring back in Season 5, all the way back in Season 5, when Carl was basically trying to show Gabriel how to handle himself around walkers, you know, how to handle weapons, stuff like that. He tried to teach him specifically with a machete, because that's what Gabriel chose. And it just didn't really work out, you know what I mean? He's sort of a coward, and he wasn't ready at that point. But I think that he's toughened up to the point now where he's realized that, you know, it's fight or die. There's no fight or flight anymore, you know what I mean? He can't just run every time you get a walker. So he definitely has to learn how to handle himself. And I think previously, back in the end of Season 5, like, I don't think he actually wanted to live, you know what I mean? Which is why he probably told Deanna that, you know, Rick's group is bad. Obviously, Deanna knows that he was wrong now, stuff like that. He doesn't really believe him. So he's trying to find his place back in the group, and I think that Gabriel wants to live again. You know what I mean? I think he wants to fight for his chance to live. Anyway, he asks Carl basically, you know, I wasn't ready when you were trying to teach me back at the church. I am now ready. Can you help me? Basically is what he said. And at the end of it all, originally Carl was like, no, you're worthless, stuff like that. And then he basically said, you know, all right, come by my place at around 3. We'll start with the machete. So even though Carl is sort of like the teenager and Gabriel is like the adult, it's like roles have been reversed, you know what I mean? Carl is teaching Gabriel how to survive, and I kind of like that, you know what I mean? I really do. It's a very interesting aspect of it that, you know, adults should have a little more experience in this world than teenagers or children, you know, stuff like some. I'm not saying Carl's a child, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. So yeah, Carl's teaching Gabriel how to survive, and he's starting it with the machete. So that was a little bit of a throwback reference back to Season 5. So that's pretty cool. That's definitely pretty cool. Anyway, that's the sneak peek. That was the gist of it, and then he just continued on his walk with Judith. As for anything else that's going to happen in the episode, guys, we just don't know. I can't predict anything from the title. As for the synopsis, it says just when it looks things can return to normal, or as normal as things can be in the apocalypse. I like it how they put it that way. In the apocalypse, things can't really be normal, in a way. A new problem arises for the Alexandrians. Obviously, that being Rick's group and just the people of Alexandria before Rick's group actually got there. You know, the people who don't know how to handle themselves around a walker, the people who don't know how to defend themselves, use a gun, stuff like that. It looks like Jesse has maybe a little bit of experience now that I believe it was... who was it that was teaching her? She told Rick last episode that... who was it? There's Eugene, Abraham, and Rosita. I think it was Rosita. I believe it was Rosita. Yeah, Rosita was teaching her, so she might actually know how to do some more things. We'll definitely find out. Sorry, that name didn't come to my head right off the bat. I don't know why. It's a pretty commonly used name when I'm doing predictions or reviews. But anywho, yeah, that is pretty much it, guys. I don't really know what else is going to happen. Judging from the synopsis, it just says a new problem arises for the Alexandrians. Obviously, we can predict that that's either the wolves or the herd or both. You know, the wolves obviously most likely using the Horde as a weapon towards the people of Alexandria. Yeah, there's not really much else I can predict from that synopsis, from the sneak peek, from the promo. Again, Deanna sort of looks devastated. She might have seen like a wall topple down. She might have seen somebody else die. We just don't know. I'm very intrigued by Deanna, honestly. Like, she's a little bit stronger of a character than her counterpart in the comic book. Obviously, in the comic book, the leader of Alexandria was not a girl. Deanna did not exist, and his name was Douglas Monroe. Now, in the TV show, it's Deanna, and I don't know, I sort of like her character. She has to get stronger, of course, but she does have the potential to lead. I won't deny that. You know what I mean? She just doesn't know how to deal with things on the outside of those walls. But inside of those walls, Deanna's a pretty good leader. I have to admit, inside those walls, that she is. That's why she needs Rick's. I think Rick and her need to sort of share leadership. She has to lead them from the inside of the walls, and Rick basically has to teach them how to survive. You know what I mean? Like, he has to be the leader on the outside of the walls, no matter what. That has to happen. Yeah. And of course, inside the walls too, Rick has to be the leader. When something goes wrong, when it's not, playhouse, basically. Anywho, that's it, guys. Prediction video for this week's upcoming episode of The Walking Dead. This is Season 6, Episode 2, entitled JSS. I'm not going to prolong it by just saying the same things over and over again. But I do apologize. There's not really much to go on here, guys. We had a really intense last episode. It was a very, very good premiere. It was movie quality, and I definitely really liked it. Obviously, that was a 90-minute episode. This is going back to just the standard 1-hour-long episode. Unfortunately, I did like the hour and a half. It was definitely very, very nice to have, but you got to go back sometimes. Not every episode can be 90 minutes, I guess. So, anywho, that's it for now. Hopefully you guys did enjoy today's video. If you guys agreed with anything that I said in this video, leave it down in the comment section below. If you guys didn't agree with anything, leave that as well and tell me what you guys think is going to happen in this week's upcoming episode of The Walking Dead. Do you guys have any thoughts on what the title of the episode is, entitled JSS? Do you guys, obviously it's an acronym of some sort. Do you guys have any thoughts on what it could mean? Something like that. Definitely let me know. We'll have a little discussion. If you guys only watch my predictions and review videos, definitely check back on Monday for my review of this episode of The Walking Dead, Season 6, Episode 2, entitled JSS, which again is airing Sunday. Definitely tune into it. If you guys watch my normal videos as well, tune in tomorrow on Destiny for Xur Day. That is right, everybody. It's Friday. Xur returns to the tower, and we'll be going over my King's Fall raid loot as well. Anywho, I will talk to you guys in the next one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Like if you did, subscribe if you did, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now, everybody.